So Carmelo Anthony's family held a press conference April 17th. Austin Metcalf's dad was escorted off the premises and asked to leave. And I gotta be honest here, I am not a fan of the Anthony family spokesperson. He's the founder of Next Generation Action Network, which I did not know about until really his name started to come out. But that's not too important. The point is that he's representing Carmelo Anthony in the Austin Metcalf stabbing. Now, Jeff Metcalf, Austin's dad, actually showed up to the press conference and he said that he just wanted to be witness to what was being said. A lot of people have a problem with that and they feel as though he was coming with malicious intent, but I don't feel like that, honestly. If I was a father who had a kid who got stabbed in the heart and lost his life, I think that I too would be inclined to be a witness to everything going on pertaining to this case that I can be. I actually like the way that Jeff Metcalf has been handling this situation more than anybody else. And it's crazy because he has every right to be the most, emotionally disturbed right now, but he's the most headstrong. He's the most consistent person in this whole case. He's a really level-headed guy and he's staying strong in upholding his Christian values and faith. Whether you agree with that or not, that's a whole nother story. But the fact is, he is doing a damn good job. Anyways, he's at the press conference before it starts. People see him there and they like, whoa, what is he doing here? Why is he here? Is he here to cause trouble? Yada, yada, yada. The Anthony family and the spokesman asked him to leave. One reason why I think he was harmless is because he said out of his mouth, I'm not here to be a disturbance. I'm just here to witness the conference.
I'm not here to create a disturbance. I'm just here to stand by and witness this press conference.
Now, people can say anything, but I think the fact that he's been so fair, he's been so consistent since the beginning, I wouldn't assume that he's the person that's going to cause any trouble at any events like this. At the end of it all, he gets escorted out of the building by police and then the press conference starts. That same day, one of the Metcalf households actually got swatted, which is terrible. The husband and wife are not together. I don't know if they are staying together in the midst of everything going on, but they live in separate households. Whichever one got hit, that is a horrible thing. I can't believe that people are going out of their way to cause this much trouble to any of these families in this process. To be quite frank, I think this would make a lot more sense if it happened to Carmelo Anthony's family. Even then, I feel like that is just out of line. Let's get into what was said at the press conference, and then we're going to touch on the swatting after that. This press conference was held to pretty much dispel any rumors that have been going around revolving around the Carmelo Anthony family, most notably what they've been doing with their donation money. The other part of this conference is the Anthony family addressing all of the backlash and threats they've been getting since the situation became so viral.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting non-stop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to.
Not a fan of this guy, like, at all. Nobody's perfect, yo, and I understand why the Anthony family would be, you know, a little startled by the fact that Jeff Metcalf showed up to the press conference. But Dominique Alexander, brother, I think what you said was completely wrong. Like I said, I already don't feel like it was disrespectful, nor was it wrong for Jeff Metcalf to show up to the press conference. It was a public press conference, and to my knowledge, I do not believe there was a mandated court order that says that the families cannot be in touch with one another. I could be wrong. It would make a lot of sense for there to be one, but I don't believe there is, or I just have not came across it. He's also saying there's information about the Metcalf situation that he is not spoken of, Next Generation Action Network, as if Jeff and the Metcalf family have done the same thing, and that is simply not true. If that was the case, I would understand Alexander saying that Jeff Metcalf showing up was a disrespect to the dignity of Austin Metcalf's life, but that is simply not it. Jeff Metcalf has proven how level-headed he is, how forgiving he is, and how fair he is, honestly. To say you don't want to speak badly of a grieving family and father, and for you to do exactly that, they need to get a new spokesman, because this dude is off the wall. I would actually challenge Dominique Alexander and his assertion that, you know, Jeff Metcalf has fallen into the political operatives that are trying to make this about race, trying to bring politics into this whole situation. And I would say that he is doing that exact thing. I don't like this guy, and I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I really do respect Jeff Metcalf and how he's been handling this whole situation, because even after this, he has not came to badmouth the Anthony family nor anybody that is representing them or any team affiliated with them. Dominique Alexander actually has a pretty lengthy, not super lengthy, but he has a decent criminal record, decent as in the size of it. I don't feel as though he's very articulate, and he couldn't even get the Metcalf pronunciation right before he got on stage. Could be nerves, could be something else. His job in trying to dispel the rumors and highlighting the threats that have been given to the Anthony family should have also first involved him trying to get everybody to understand that they need to focus on the facts of the situation. They need to wait for evidence to come out, and we all need to give the judicial system time to work. That should have been first. But he, in my opinion, wanted to do everything else besides that.
Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a black man, as a father, as a protector, in community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this. But we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, and private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, give, send, go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
Yeah, I got you.
All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud, okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Karmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Karmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Karmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Karmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Karmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN, inbox, do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds' name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you. Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright disrespectful. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Karmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home? Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Karmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story.
So we have it confirmed. There was never a GoFundMe that was sanctioned by the family. They were taken down by request of the family and their supporters. There was only a Give, Send, Go that was created in the family's name, and they have just been recently told they are able to start withdrawing funds from the account. So all the nonsense about them buying a $900,000 house, $150,000 Escalade with that money, not true. All of us with brains didn't even need him to say this to understand that. The whole bit about not needing approval from the oppressors to defend yourself, I understand what he's saying, but I do not agree with him trying to say all this, especially after he's spoken to Jeff Metcalf the way that he did, or spoken about him the way that he did. Even if he said these are not his words, don't quote him, he was the person saying this. I don't think this is about oppressed versus their oppressors. I really, really do feel that this fuels the fire towards all of the race narratives that have been going around. I think that needs to be eliminated from this case, and it will not benefit you in the long run if we're talking about oppressed versus oppressors in terms of this kid being stabbed. I can see it backfiring tremendously. To the point about the school not canceling the track meet because of rain. I ran track. We competed in the rain. I don't know how badly it was raining that day. Apparently it was pretty bad though. Either way, I don't think that he has the ability to call it whether or not the track meet should have been canceled or not. If it was at a point when nobody was at the track meet yet, that it was clear that people could not compete in the weather, I understand that, but we don't know that. He definitely knows more than we do about the situation, but he did not say that it was just terrible from the beginning. If the students were at the track meet already, there was going to be a possibility that Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony come into contact regardless of what the weather was. We still don't know why Karmelo was under the tent. People are trying to say it was because it was raining hard. People are trying to say it was because he had a friend there. We don't know. The possibility was always in the air. To the point about the school wanting to expel Karmelo Anthony, I'm gonna be real. I understand. Nobody would want this to be tied to them. He cannot be up here saying that nobody's wanting to ask the school superintendent why they decided to have the track meet in the weather conditions, and then telling him that they should not be involved in the process of this case. He's a month from graduation, but that doesn't really matter. It's unfortunate that he may not be able to walk. They said they're gonna take other measures to try and work this whole thing out, but it's understandable to say the least. I get it. I'm not particularly mad at the school for this. He spoke about the bond being reduced for Karmelo Anthony and conservatives coming at the judge, bad mouthing her, giving her backlash, all types of stuff. I agree with him wholeheartedly. It's actually funny because yes, she is a conservative black woman. People were quick to call her a liberal, call her a leftist, call her a DEI hire, and simply that's not true. I know that's not true. I will say it one more time, and I saw this bozo Nick Fuentes talking about how black people are the main people being affected by DEI. It is not true. I cannot say that enough. This is easily verifiable information. The narrative behind that is absolutely sick. All this talk about DEI and all this extra shit is so unnecessary. It's childish. Folks hear diversity and the first thing they jump to is more black people. That's not how that works, especially now in today's times when everybody is considered, other, an oppressed person. Everybody's considered a minority. That's not how that works. I don't feel like reduction of bond was a big deal. And I also agree that Karmelo Anthony was no career criminal. He did not have any priors to his name. He was not a flight risk. He was not going to flee anywhere. Just like anybody else who was bonded out before trial, Karmelo Anthony has a right to defend himself from his home. It is easier to do so anyway. This shouldn't be a big issue. And I think I just read up on a kid who was like killing his family, and he had a reduction of his bond from $1 million to $175,000. This might have happened like a year ago, but still, there was no outrage about that happening. It should not be happening with Karmelo Anthony. There's a specific group of people that are trying to use his race and trying to politicize this and use his status as a person against him. But I would not say that that is the Austin Metcalf team. These are people trying to use and sensationalize this event for their own gain. And biggest thing of all, they are trying to profit off all of this. He addressed the fact that everybody involved in the situation is a minor, so information coming out is going to be very sensitive. We're just going to have to get the stories. And unfortunately, you have to be very delicate when you're handling that situation. Minors are protected for a great reason, yo. We cannot just be pressing up on them. You cannot be demanding information about who said what, who was there, yada, yada, yada. You can't. And last but not least, he addressed what people were saying about him personally. He says he's a walking testimony, and although he's made many mistakes over his life, God has made sure that his story will keep progressing. And I'm not mad at that. He's still not my favorite person when it comes to representing this case, but that is true. Everybody has a chance for redemption, and truth be told, they should be afforded that right and that opportunity. But I still understand why some people would use his past against him. I was a little all over the place with the points and stuff like that, but y'all get the point. All of this was addressed in this press conference. At this time, I would like to show y'all the mother speaking about her perspective in this whole situation and what's been happening to the family since the start of all this.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
So you can see the family has been going through it since the situation has happened, and I think people need to get in their right minds. The court of public opinion is a dangerous place to be in, especially in this case, no matter what side you are on. Sending threats to the families and lying about the family should not be tolerated. There's a long line of people that the Anthony family can actually sue for all of this. Will it happen? I don't know, but the truth is they do have an opportunity to do so. I said in a past video, this is a pretty well-off family. The fact that they were able to move into Frisco, into a very affluent neighborhood, into an $800,000 home, it speaks to this family not being poor. It speaks to them not being a group of thugs. The fact that the father is working, the mother can be a stay-at-home wife. It speaks to some level of stability in this family's life. The situation is horrible, no doubt about it. As common men and women, we cannot take justice into our own hands. I stand firm on that. According to the mother, the father had to take a leave of absence from work. They've had their address leaked. They've had their prior workplace, the husband's prior workplace leaked. That's all public information. And honestly, I don't feel like it should be public information, but it is. But it wasn't important until this event was sensationalized and made so captivating to the masses. You are abusing the knowledge of knowing how to get all this information. And again, you are not justice. Leave these families alone. Austin Metcalf's family has been going through the same thing, doing all these extras to make a point and get your grievances out the way. You may get caught up with the law doing that. And I do think that given the opportunity, they should look into, getting back at these people, not like getting revenge, but holding them accountable for the actions they're taking against the Anthony family. I appreciate the mother extending her heart out to the Austin Metcalf family. I actually wish the father spoke a bit more, but the mother was the primary caretaker. I'm assuming that the mother saw everybody more. Primary caretaker as in the home more. This is a two-parent household. All in all, I think the press conference was doing what it intended to do. I'm still not a big fan of Dominique Alexander, but rumors were dispelled. The family had a chance to speak for the first time, and we got a bit more information into the life of the Anthony family. I would not be surprised if the Metcalf family had their own press conference coming up very, very soon. We will be there to watch that. I will be here to cover it, and that's where I want to end it. There's another part to this, but it's pretty much just Dominique Alexander talking about the fact that Karmelo Anthony deserves the right to due process. He brought up the Rittenhouse case, and he actually got the facts to that wrong. So yeah, I think that he's trying to make arguments just to validate the experience that Karmelo's getting, you know what I'm saying? But none of that matters. And he's already said, with the bond being reduced and him having a chance to defend himself from his home, that was all done in legal practice. In my opinion, it doesn't need to be justified. He said they had video of Rittenhouse shooting people in the back, which is not what they had, but they had video evidence of what happened. There's none with Karmelo Anthony. Hopefully the video comes out eventually and it's not leaked. Hopefully it's released by law enforcement, by the courts, whoever has it and has the authority to put it out there. That will be the turning point in all of this because somebody has it. We know somebody has it. Now let's talk about the Metcalf family being swatted. Frisco police were called for a gunshot at the Metcalf family's home on Thursday, the same day that the press conference took place. Police say officers responded to the home, but then determined there was no shooting. Frisco PD called the incident swatting, which is when a false report is made to law enforcement to prompt an emergency response. This is at least the second time the Metcalfs have been subject to a swatting incident. Frisco police say it also happened on April 8th. Police have not said if they have any information about the caller. You losers, leave that family alone. Why on earth have they been swatted twice, yo? What do y'all have in your hearts that prompts y'all to make these people's lives more difficult than they already are? I don't know whose home they went to, whether it was Austin's mother or Austin's father's crib. It doesn't matter, bruh. And I don't even know if I'm positive who would be the person to do this, because the Metcalf family has been getting flack from people on Karmelo's side and also people on Austin's side. I just listened to a January 6er call that man weak because he did not want his son to be used as a martyr to fuel his white preservation movement. As much as nobody likes Carmelo Anthony's family, nobody likes the Metcalf family as well. And I'm talking really about the dad. They haven't given us information about the caller. Either way, yo, leave these people alone, you demonic beings. Each family needs as much peace as possible in defending their cases. Trying to harm them or get them riled up is so stupid. Calling police on somebody in general is a dangerous thing to do. Somebody can lose their life behind that. Do you not understand that? You do understand. You just don't care. I wish people would get a grip, yo, and stop pretending like you are the justice system. I'll say it again. I'm a fan of Jeff, and I love the way that he's been handling this situation. That's the video, though. Just wanted to put this out there. There's really not too much information on the swatting right now. Hopefully we get more in the future, and whoever did that is held accountable for their actions. I wish we could make a collective decision to leave these families alone. It's their kids that were involved in this. The other members of the family had no part in any of this. Both are mourning. One's mourning the actual loss of their son. One's mourning the potential loss of their son. Having somebody go to prison, if potentially for life, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does happen, that is just as good as death. Let me know what you think about all this. How did you feel about the press conference? Do you share the same kind of opinions that I do? I was dissecting every individual thing, but in totality, I think that it did what it was intended to do. I'm still not a fan of Dominique Alexander, and I do still feel bad for the Anthony family and what they are going through because of the situation revolving around their son. I wish each family the best. I cannot wait until evidence comes out. And yeah, let me know what you think. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, share the video, do all that. I appreciate it. And y'all have a good rest of your day, okay?